video is designed to give you a rundown on how a Zearn lesson is going to flow before actually going over each part and actually playing it out. Let me tell you the resources and websites that you'll need. First, embark online. You're going to be getting some items from this website. Second, you need to Google Promethean software download and download the Active Inspire software. This software will be used so that you download it, and then once you open a file from Embark Online, and it's these smartboard files, it's made for the Active Inspire. Now, I believe there are also Google Slides you can use from Embark Online, but obviously these slides are PowerPoint, and you can't really draw on them. Having the smartboard with the different colors, shapes, and whatnot, it's much more, there's much more interaction, and that's what you need. So this is my preferred way of teaching the lesson. So you download the software, install it, and then I'll show you how that works in a second. But let me just run this down from the beginning to the end. Actually, you know what? I will download this file. Nope, not the topic. Sorry. Let's do lesson 1. So you need your Promethean flip chart. There it is. Let's download this real quick. Okay, I believe I have this already. Oh, it's a copy. I do. Okay, so there it is. Active Inspire. Whew. Okay, here we go. Nope. Now, how a lesson is presented in these files. I'm trying to zoom out. Okay, it is the same. Where's the zoom out? I guess not. It is in the same format as my Word document that I just put out. So part 1 is Fluency. Of course, you're going to see. Come on. Fluency. Okay. Then you have Word application problem. There it is. And then you get the core lesson, or the concept development. That's what I should rename it to. Concept. Okay. Part 3 is concept development. And you keep on going. This is where I'll explain this later when we get there. So, and then you have your I'll get to this part, whatever, as well. Problem set. The debrief. I'll get there later. And the exit ticket. Okay, so let me start from the very beginning. So here's a rundown of how it works. Sorry. Okay, part 1. Now, I have this in red because this is when you whole group them. It's a whole group, rotation, whole group. Again, I'll chime in with my own feedback and details once I get to the specific part. So part 1, Fluency. Use the slides. There's nothing to print. Now there will be, how many examples do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 slides. What I like to do is, for the first 1 or 2, I like to do them, and I'll do it like a think aloud. Now with this particular slide, okay, we have no. Oh, you do have notes. Okay, well I don't need the notes. I would say okay. Now by this point in time, of course it assumes that your students know all of this. Some might not, so that's why I like to do the I do for like the first 2 slides. So I'll say this tape diagram, this candy bar. I see a candy bar. I see the candy bar cut once into 2 slices. Slice 1, slice 2. Now, let's just say the total candy bar is worth a total of $10. So that must mean that this, what's 10 divided by 2? 2 pieces. Oh, this must mean that this piece must cost $5, and this piece must also cost $5. Now, obviously, you'll have to read your notes because, okay, 10 divided by 2, okay, got it. I like to do like what I just did with the candy bar and the money and all of that. Of course, that was not even part of this at all. But the kids can relate to the candy bar. They can relate to the money. So that's sort of how I do things sometimes. So then I'll say, oh, okay, well, we'll take a look at this one. Oh, okay, well now this candy bar costs a total of $6. This is always the total. Whatever is on top, on the outside, that's your total, or your total amount. Oh, so if Aaron gets this piece and Brittany gets that piece, how much money does each person pay? Well, 6 divided by 2 pieces. Oh, you must get $3. You must pay $3, and you must pay $3. So that's kind of how I do it. And if that's not clear, then you could also model with discs. Okay, you have 6 discs. Okay, well, if we have 2 kids, well, how many discs does each kid get? Okay, this goes to you. This is the you, 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 and you. So each kid gets 1, 2, 3 for you, and 1, 2, 3 for you. So again, these are just the ways I think of all of this on the fly, and at some point in time, you will as well. It's just on the fly. I'm teaching them, what's going on, assuming they forgot it. Some will look at it and go, "Oh, duh, it's 10 divided by 2. Oh, duh, it's 6 divided by 2." But not all think that way. Okay, same thing, same thing. And again, I model it first. Oh, now we have 3 kids. How much money does each kid get? Oh, you know. But if they know their multiplication facts, some do, some won't. They'll also see the connection. But again, use the money, use the candy bar, whatever. Okay, same thing. Fractions. Again, maybe on this one, or I'll pick one. I'll say, okay, well, this one has how many parts are shaded? Well, just one. Okay, so that's one shaded part. And how many people can sit at the table? That's something I use frequently. How many people can sit at the table total? How many seats? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4. Just like that. All right, and then which is the right triangle? Is this right angles? Okay, there it is. Right there. Oh, if this ever happens, click on it. Oh, I have to unlock it. I have allow objects. If this ever happens, you need to unlock these objects to allow selection. Go to view. Go to, I think is it browsers? Yeah, go to browsers, and it's one of these. There it is, object browser. And you see how they're all locked? Is there a mass unlock? Oh, come on. Unlock. I remember there was an easy way for me to unlock all of them. Can I right click? No. Okay, I guess I'll just manually unlock all. There it is. I'll unlock all of it. Okay, alright. And then you have to send it to the back. Send backwards. Okay, hang on, give me a second. I know it's here. Let me do this in red, see what happens. This is also a learning process. Okay, so let me be a different color. Okay, that's why. Okay. There we go. There's the right angle right there. And again, these kids might have forgotten it, but, it is what it is. The fluency is just like a little rehash of what they should already know. That's all it is. So that's fluency. Sorry, someone messaged me. Okay, so that's fluency. You always do fluency. Usually you have nothing to print. Sometimes you might. You just have to look ahead in your lessons and see what you have to print. So usually if you have to print something, it's a sprint. Like 40 problems, all multiplication, 2-minute time test, time quiz. So that's fluency. That's part 1, whole group. Part 2, word application problem. This is this one right here. Now, this is why your students need a math binder, because otherwise you're going to have to give them a whiteboard and they have to follow along. I prefer this method. Okay, so you go to, back on Embark Online, application problems with space for student work. Click on this and you'll have to print all of this. So this is their module. These are all application problems. There it is right there, right there. Some lessons may not have a application problem, so make sure, if you want to save paper, I'm very much a paper saver. So let's just assume that, Let's assume lesson 22, which is page 23, does not have a application problem. So this means you got to print what, 1 through 22. Skip 22 and go to 42. So skip 22, go to 42. Skip 22, go to 42. Look at my print screens here. Okay, so you would go what? Custom skip 22, go to 42. There you go. So now it skips 22 and it goes to 42. And if your printer is capable of doing so, print on both sides. And that's what I do. So now your students will have this journal and hole punched, put it in their binder. They'll have this math journal with all of their application problems. And here we go. Part 2, application problem. Blah, 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 blah. You do it, whatever. Do it with them. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, next. My only note on this is sometimes this is what I like to do. Again, this is more I do, we do sort of thing. I'll do it as is, whatever. But then I'll say, okay, now that I'm done, let's do this one more time, but I'm going to change the numbers. So I might say, use your scissors to cut your rectangle on the diagonal lines. Prove that you have cut rectangles into 4/4. So I might change this to 8/5, right? Now, just a side note, obviously when you have these cutouts, this is going to be harder. Some are feasible, they can be quickly done. Others, it's time consuming. So sometimes I won't. Now for this particular one, you have to have these cutouts. Now for me, it's easy because I have only 4 students, right? So I could do this ahead of time. But for you, maybe you want to consider the day before, at the end of day. Hey, a few of my kids, hey, y'all don't want to go to recess? It's too hot outside? Okay, help me out, cut these for me. There you go. And then of course you use it for next year. Again, just forward thinking. Okay, next. Okay. So now, this is part 3. We're on part 3, concept development. Now, just a quick side note, the parish wants us to do this in rotations. What do I mean by rotations? I mean, they want like a low group. Their vision is rotation. Okay, 3 groups, low, medium, high. The idea is, as you're teaching group X, group Y is on Zearn. Group Z is doing some Zearnish math station, something like that. Okay, and each rotation lasts 30 minutes. That's how their vision was. Something may have changed. I don't know. I think something has changed. Anyways, I'm just gonna say it. I dislike rotations because if you do rotations, you have to teach it 3 times. No, I just whole group. Okay, there. That's just me, and I'm able to whole group because I only have like, let's say 3 third graders and 1 fifth grader, so I can whole group, no problem. You guys, I don't know. But anyways, let's get back to it. Make sure everyone. Okay, so obviously this lesson you have strips. They have things they need to do beforehand. So I remember doing this now. Okay, you have to have the materials ready prior. Some have easy materials. Others, if they're so complex, I might show them. I might make a set for myself. But man, if it's some of these, they can get real excessive, and they don't give you maybe in the back. Maybe in the back of your lesson book, you'll have a page where you can copy it, 25 times, and then you have them cut it out. But you see how much work this grows into. They have to have scissors. You have to find a time and a place for them to cut all of it, and then blah blah blah. It gets a little bit too much, but it's hands-on. It's a manipulative. So, anyways, let's just do this. Okay, fold a strip of paper to create thirds and sixths. Always project with the Elmo and Smartboard what they should be doing. Always do it. Always, always, always. Don't assume, okay, they know how to do thirds. No. Always project. You go first, then they go. Again, it's all about your procedures. I tell my kids, let me go first. When I finish, I will give you the signal to begin. That's what I do. That's just me. Okay. So now, okay, fold 2 strips of paper, create 7/4. Okay, yeah. Are there notes? Yes, there are notes. Now this is all scripted, okay? Student, teacher, student, teacher, student. I don't do this. I don't do this. No. Quick side note. What what concept is being introduced? The concept that's being introduced that they need to understand. I get them there. No problem. I may not say all of this, but what I do is this. There you go. I don't deviate from the game plan, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you're doing this. Okay, so like problem 3, for example. Maybe you do it, and then you change the numbers. You could do that. You could say, okay, guys, now, what if we had 8 pieces? Well, now what is it? Now it's no longer 1/5, is it? No. Now each section, each partition, that's the math word partition, is 1/8. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, just like that. Don't go higher than 1/10, or don't go higher than 1/12. Okay? Alright, same old, right? Again, you bottled it first. Okay, yeah, 1/5, 1/5. Okay, this is 2/5, right? Okay. Okay, class, what if we did this, class? What if we did this, class? And don't do 1/9. That's not a. It's a long story. Do like 1/5, 1/8, 1/10, 1/12, 5, 6, 7. That's 9. Dang it. 1/8. Here we go. And then you said, class. Okay, what if? Oh, they made that. How nice of them. Okay, class. What if it's What if it's this, class? You tell me. On your whiteboards, you do it. I'll give you 2 minutes. And of course, they should go 1/8, 1/8, 3/8. You see what I'm doing? Oh my god. You see, so you see the point I'm trying to make, trying to do. You model it, you show how it's done, you change numbers, and then you make sure they understand what's going on. Make it a little bit dynamic. Okay, you get the idea. You get the idea. Blah blah blah. Okay, now, so that was the end of the concept development. Now, you have a problem set. I do not do the problem set. I don't do it. Nope. Problem set. Nope. 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 And I'll explain why later. Or I'll show you an alternative way to do it. Okay. So now the student debrief. Now this is pretty much. This is the exemplar. I should have made the eggs ticket part 5. Part 4, part 4, part 5. The exemplar. Okay, the exemplar is basically it's where you do the exit ticket. That's what it is. That is what it is. So for example, exit ticket. Now, of course every student will have an exit ticket, and I have one myself, right? I will take this and I will change the numbers. So I will say, okay, my exit ticket, everyone, because you don't want them copying you exactly, but you want them to understand the objective. So I would say, okay, everyone, this is my. Okay, hang on. So for 1A, this is my tape diagram. This is my number bond. So this will be mine is it's 1/6 because this is one piece. And how many pieces are there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/6, 1/6. Same old, same old. This is me, class. Don't copy me. Okay, now this tape diagram is going to represent this number bond will represent the tape diagram. 1/6, 1/6. Okay, so you do yours, and then you say, you can choose. You can say, okay, now, did everyone understand what just happened? Okay, now you do your part. Just 1A. You have, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can choose to do it this way or do all of it at the very end. But anyways, let me continue. Draw and label tape diagrams to model each number of sentence. Okay, on this one, so again, you have to change the numbers. Get some white out, or just erase it and do whatever you want. So let's just say we went like this. Okay, so let's go 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and of course you change all of that to those 5s to 8s. And then, oh, you want me to draw a tape diagram? Okay, no problem. Do 8 pieces, so I need 7 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you do it all out. You just basically modify the numbers. That's the exemplar. You modify the numbers, and you keep this on the board for them to see, so they know. So when they do their exit ticket, they know what's going on. And then we'll get to that in a second. Okay. So the exemplar and the exit ticket, they're almost like a 2-in-1. Exemplar, you take this is their exit ticket, you just modify the numbers, keep it up here, and then they take their exit ticket and they do the same thing. It's important to show the exemplar because it shows what you expect them to do. You want to, this is like explicit teaching. You want to show them the right way. You don't want them to guess like, oh, okay, well, yeah, what do you want me to write 1/4 right here, and then this one are in here or down here? I mean, obviously you write it down here, right? Obviously, but again, we're just explicit teaching. You teach them the right way. You teach them the only way. So that's that. Now, what about problem set / homework? Okay, for me, part 6. For me, I don't do it. I just don't do it. If you did do it, like just a quick little side note, my students had masteries, so either I had amazing students or they had an amazing teacher, and the homework and the problem sets were excessive. Were not a requirement. So let me just say that. That being said, with the problem set, this is what I would do. You pick the problem set or the homework. Where do you get that? Oh, it's in Zearn's website. Let's go to Zearn. Okay, curriculum. Grade 5, module 1. Now this is module 5. I'm going to follow it. Module 5. Wait a second. This is grade 4, module 5. I knew it was. Tape diagrams are not grade 5. Here it is. Optional problem sets, optional homework. So this is what you could do. And maybe you should do it just to be on the safe side. Okay, so at the very end, after they finished their exit tickets, this is what I would do. I would say, okay, class, this is your homework for tonight, right there, 2 pages. Now, you can see that there's a section, section 1 with the tape diagrams and section 2 with the equations, with the fractions. I would do this to help them out. I would say, even though there's an example, class, we've collected the exit tickets. I'm going to do 1B and 1C with you, and then I'm going to do 2A and 2B with you. So basically, you are doing in class a third of the homework with them. It makes it's less homework time for them, and it shows you. And as they're doing it with you as you go, it's more like reinforcement. You do 1B with them, exactly the same way, there and there, and then for 2, you do it exact. Don't change the numbers. Do it exactly as it should be done. Draw and label tape diagrams. Put it there. Put it there. There you go. Because again, you want to show them what to expect. Some folks, you tell them, draw. If you don't do any of this, and they read it, draw and label tape diagrams. Do you want a vertical tape diagram? Do you want a diagonal? Like you want to eliminate any uncertainties. You keep it like it's this explicit teaching. I'm big on it. I'll say it a lot. You teach them the right way, the only way. That's it. So that pretty much wraps up a lesson from start to finish. Fluency and word problems, make sure you get that book. Print the book. The journal. The journal. Print the journal. It's very important. Print it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Print that journal. Place it in the binder. And then concept development. Do a lot of modeling. I do. There are usually, for this lesson, the concept development, I believe there were four of them, right? Yep, problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, 4. Okay. So it's kind of like you could say for problems 1 and 2, you could do it. 3, we do it together. And then maybe change numbers. So technically you're doing 3 like 2 times. And then problem 4, okay, you guys give it a try. Like that, a gradual release. And that finishes that. And then of course you're on the exemplar. Keep it on board. Change numbers. They do the exit ticket right after. Give them, I don't know, 7, 8 minutes. And then finally, you do some of the problem set with them. And once that's done, that's when they, oh, finally, yeah, I forgot. Part 7. Zearn. 30 minutes. There you go. And that is it. Start to end.